The other day, my wife pointed out that like 20% of the music I listen to is about animals doing things. Plea from a Cat Named Virtute, I Crush Everything, Kirby, Flying Whales, Dune Buggy, or pretty much any song by the presidents of the United States of America. And if you know me, you know that I look way too hard into things like this, and I must determine some sort of rationale lest I lay awake in bed at night thinking about it. If you're unfamiliar with any of the songs that I listed, I think that Plea from a Cat Named Virtute is a really good one to start with. This wonderful song by a band called The Weaker Thens is written from the perspective of a cat watching its owner sort of struggle.
Why don't you ever want to play? I'm tired of this piece of string.
The cat, Virtute, which is Latin for virtue, speaks directly to his human, who seems to be going through a period of depression or emotional struggle or hardship or something. Virtute tries to offer comfort or encouragement and attempts to remind his owner of the small joys in life. Throughout the song, Virtute gets more confused and concerned at how disconnected his owner is becoming, and it's a really bittersweet reflection on the emotional support that pets can provide to people, even though they can't fully understand what their human companions are going through, making the emotional weight of the song really poignant because it's on you, the listener, to infer the deeper struggles that the cat is referring to. Another song, I Crush Everything by Jonathan Colton. This song is sung from the perspective of a giant squid or a kraken or something who laments his destructive nature, and it longs to connect with the world, specifically with ships that pass by, but it knows that everything it touches, it destroys.
Maybe I am better off alone because I crush it.
The song explores loneliness and this sort of tragic self-awareness that every attempt for interaction that this sea monster has just leads to destruction. Now, if you're thinking, Mathias, this isn't fun at all. This is depressing. Well, I think that's the point. There's nothing lighthearted or enjoyable about discussing emotional distress or the tendency to hurt the people that you love the most. That's a bummer. But you know what is fun? Sea monsters and cats. I know myself, and I know I tend to avoid consuming too much media that just makes me sad. I think there's enough sadness in like the actual world where like watching This Is Us is just like not a good idea for me. But I think the discussion and consideration of things that are a bummer are important for us to do, just from like an empathy standpoint. So I think these songs with bummer topics that are sung through the lens of something a little more lighthearted, like a sea monster being in love with ships or a cat wanting its owner to become lively again, is the conduit by which I get my sad song fix. I'm like a child with vitamins. It's like, broccoli. Flintstone vitamins. And I like broccoli. Using this analogy, Father and Son by Cat Stevens is a wonderful song. Water works every time. I love that song, but my tolerance for the amount of sad songs that I can listen to is maybe comically low. I can do like one a week, unless you present it through a cat, apparently. Using the animal avenue is also a really interesting songwriting technique. It's a cool way for a songwriter to explore maybe a tired topic in a way that sounds fresh and creative. Like you could write a song about depression, or you could write a song about how your cat notices your depression. Anyways, I'm satisfied with this explanation for myself. I'm also satisfied with the creation of the weirdest vibe playlist of all time. And I know what you're thinking. Mathias, Dune Buggy by the Presidents is about a spider driving a dune buggy. Well, yeah, I like cute songs too.
A little blind spider took the wheel.